It's Friday night, and you know what that means. Time for another hour-long edition of wrestling on Turner Network Television that flies by like it's merely 60 minutes long, 45 minutes with commercials. I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Rampage. So, this show was not taped after Dynamite. It was taped the next day, but still in Toronto. The crowd was pretty hot, and hopefully everybody had a really good time. I will say, for a taped show, this wasn't the worst. It was just kind of dull outside of a couple acquisitions that showed up at the very end. So JR, Excalibur, and Shivani on commentary. We start off with Jon Moxley. You know, it's probably a good thing they didn't show Moxley's entrance on the broadcast because they would have had to have probably cut a match. And I love Wild Thing, You Make My Heart Sing. I love that song. I love that rendition. Even though the Troggs rendition isn't bad, Moxley coming out to that was really, really weird. X does a better version. Fight me in the comments. But the entrance takes a while. So, Moxley and Claudio taking on Butcher and the Blade with the Bunny and her Toronto Maple Leaf glory, and this match was fine. It was fine. Butcher and Blade are fine, but they don't mean anything. They just got beaten up. Even though they got their shots in, they got beaten up. The Bunny got involved. And, look, Vegeta, more bald people. And then we get a Ricola Bomb 1, 2, 3. So, Butcher gets pinned. There you go. We go back to, we actually have promos, brief promos from Moxley and Claudio. They go back and forth. This is about, well, Hangman, you can either step up or get stepped on. Renee is backstage with Swerve and Lee. She's perfect in this role. Good for her. Happy for her. Swerve and Lee are going to end up feuding. They're going to end up feuding and probably feuding by Full Gear. If they're not feuding by Full Gear, I will be amazed. So, then Renee is with the Dark Order. G.I. Jose shows up, and we're going to have Rush versus 10. And if 10 wins, then Rush and then them have to leave him alone. I get. Or maybe he removes the mask and joins them. I don't really care. This is nothing against anybody involved, but when the Dark Order shows up, I'm like, eh. So, the Jericho Appreciation Society show up for a promo. I know that Jericho was getting cheered wildly because Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I get it. The whole Jericho Appreciation Society thing is stupid. Stop having Anna talk unless you're going to make her sound like a normal person. Garcia, his immediate future is toast. Just toast. I'm not saying he doesn't work well as a heel. I'm just saying you kind of slap the fans in the face with the whole thing. We're like, oh, let's do this torn thing. And then he does that and okay. Why cheer anybody then? They're probably going to do the same thing, Jamie Hayter, and then they're going to wonder, why does nobody cheer for anybody? Why can't anybody get organically over? This is a problem in multiple companies. You have to go with what the crowd wants. Don't give them everything they want, but if they really want something and they push forward for multiple weeks and possibly a few months, you probably should go with it. But who am I to argue with a man that is on the Herb Abrams diet and it's getting worse and worse and worse? You're a wrestler. No, stop with that wrestler stuff. I'm a sports entertainer. This is tired shit. Here's Dalton Castle to challenge Jericho for the Ring of Honor Championship. He's a power peacock. I don't mind Dalton Castle, but his promos are weird. I mean, him versus Jericho may be fine, I guess. And Sheeta and Storm, they have pre-tape. Sheeta wants to beat Tony and win the championship back because she carried it through the pandemic. Sheeta and Tony have the talent. I hope they can carry this off. What couldn't be carried off was the next match. Nyla Rose versus Anna Jay. Both are heels. Anna's not very interesting, even though she looks good. Nyla Rose is saddled with Vicky I Vote for the Wall Guerrero because Vicky Guerrero can frickin' suck a goddamn rotten egg and choke for all I care. And I think that was Marina Shafir, but we don't know her. I will let that promo go one of these days, but only when she justifies ever being given any mic time again. Look, I'm glad the women got some time, but this match wasn't good. Nyla, I still maintain, should have been the first women's champion in AEW history. If Rio had beaten her, it would have been one thing, but Nyla should have had the title first. Beast Bomb 1, 2, 3. And then we have security there. The baddies attack the security because Jade and the baddies show up. Then Jade kind of potatoes pretty much all of them because Jade is not exactly a polished individual when it comes to stuff, but whatever. I don't think she intentionally hurt people, but it was weird. And then Nyla, Vicky, and Marina Shafir somehow managed to sneak by everybody, despite the fact that Vicky basically screeches in her sleep and whenever she's awake and pretty much when she moves. Excuse me? Dumb bitch. Eddie should have frickin' divorced you. Anyway, so, Ari Daivari said he was giving $50,000 in an envelope to Hook to buy the FTW championship. Now he'll take it from him on Rampage. Remember when Sonny Kiss turned heel and it seemed like they were going to do something with him? And I know they've appeared on Elevation and Dark, but look, no offense, the YouTube views for them have dropped. And even though there are a few good things that they're doing, it's still too much programming. If you can't find stuff on your main programs to boost something, why do you have so many talents? I'm all for people getting paychecks, but they're paying so many people, and sometimes they're exclusive to YouTube. Whatever. By the way, I did forget to note that Stu Grayson was back with the Dark Order briefly because they're in Canada. He was one of the ones let go. All right. Ethan Page beat Isaiah Cassidy really quickly. Now he owns the firm owns the contracts of Matt Hardy and Private Party. They fought hard to gain ownership of two black men in a vibrant, inclusive company. Remember when Matt Hardy could have actually been something and now he's just pretty much a broken down piece of shit? Yeah. So then, the best friends want gold. Okay. Well, they want trios gold. Orange Cassidy, by the way, is the All-Atlantic Champion. I now have written off the All-Atlantic Championship. FTR and Spears, the Pinnacle, taking on the Embassy. I think that's what they're called. Brian Cage, the Gates of Agony, Khan with a U, and Toa Leona with Prince na 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 na. This match was fine. Good on Khan for getting TV time. Cage is what he is. He's not great. He's not awful. He just is what he is. Toa has potential. FTR are great. They're being completely cut off at the goddamn knees. Spears is over, doing a gimmick that he got over in WWE. Heart Attack C4. 1, 2, 3. And then suddenly the Kingdom show up. No, not Cody Rhodes. He's not back. It's Mike Bennett, Maria Kanellis / Bennett, and Matt Taven. You know what? Good for them. I like Mike Bennett. Taven is not bad. He's not a main event guy. And Maria, that looks good, being the mouthpiece for both of them. Good on Mike. Seriously, good on them. Good on them. And then everybody attacks everybody, and Wardlow and Samoa Joe show up. Rampage is getting to the point where it's just the same stuff. They're repeating the same stuff, and it's no wonder the ratings have goddamn crashed. It's not even the fault of the talents. Tape show or not, if you have enough of a reason for people to tune in, okay, but Rampage just has felt lifeless for a while. It's a shame because people are trying. It just doesn't have anything to it. Agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.